Hi everyone, Ben here from musictheoryacademy.com. In this lesson, we're going to have a look at the hemiola. We're going to ask the question, what is a hemiola? And I'm going to explain to you there are two types, and I'm going to give examples of each. So firstly, what is a hemiola? Well, a hemiola, the most important thing to remember is it's about two numbers, the number 3 and the number 2. And that's because it's a rhythmic device that involves superimposing two notes in the time of 3. Let me explain with an example. So here we are in triple time, and if I play this, we're counting in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It feels like we're counting in threes because we're in 3, 4, our time signature. But if I put some ties over the quarter notes or over the crotchets, it starts to change the feel of the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It becomes quite tricky to count in the threes. It almost feels like we're counting in twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's changed the sense from a 3 to a 2. This is called a horizontal hemiola. It's called horizontal because it follows along with the music. It's changing from 3 to 2 as we go along. When you play it like this, it adds an intensity. It almost feels like the music is getting quicker. But all that's happened is we've changed the feel from counting in threes to counting in twos. We haven't changed the time signature. That stays the same. It just feels like we're counting in twos. So let's have a look at some examples of this. This is a very famous example from Handel's And the Glory of the Lord, taken from his Messiah. Have a listen to this. This is the introduction before the vocalists come in. Now you can hear clearly how we're counting in threes. Again, we're in 3, 4, so it should feel like we're counting in threes. But when we get to that green shaded bit, it feels like we're counting in twos. Handel has changed the feel of the music. Composers often did this, particularly in the Baroque period, when they were approaching a cadence, so approaching the end of the phrase, and it was a way of just adding a bit of rhythmic interest by adding in a hemiola. Let's have another look at another example. This from Mozart Piano Sonata. It's only a short extract, but you can clearly hear how it feels like we're counting in threes at the start, and then for the last 2 bars, it feels like we're counting in twos. I love the way Mozart uses this hemiola to add intensity. It almost feels like the music is speeding up. It's not. The tempo has stayed the same, but it feels like it has. It's a fantastic composition tool. One more example, slightly more up to date. America from West Side Story. That da 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 da, which is so well known. It's this wonderful use of this difference between 3 and 2, and it adds this wonderful intensity and excitement. So it's horizontal because the 3-2 change happens over time. That's a horizontal hemiola. Okay, the second type is a vertical hemiola. Well, what's that about? Again, we're talking about 3 and 2, but this time both rhythms are played at the same time. Here you can see we've got 2 dotted crotchets, and underneath it we've got 3 crotchets, so we've got 3 quarter notes. So you get this 3-2 pattern played at the same time. This is really crucial to sub-Saharan African music. It's one of the main rhythmic building blocks of that. And again, it adds this intensity and excitement. Let me show you an example of this being used. Here's a wonderful extract from Beethoven's Piano Sonata in F minor. Just have a listen to this. This is one of my favourite extracts from Beethoven's piano sonatas. I love how he uses the triplets of the right hand and then contrasts that with the quavers or the eighth notes of the left hand. And you get this magnificent and you can see how it takes quite a bit of time to practice to get that up to speed, but the combination of those two adds this intensity and this drama that is absolutely wonderful. So the hemiola. We've looked at what is a hemiola, and remember, it's this sense of the difference between counting in threes and counting in twos and the combination of those two things coming together. And we've looked at the two types, the vertical and the horizontal hemiola. I hope you found that helpful.